In this video we are gonna work with the basics, the very basics of image editing in Photoshop. We're gonna work on an agarose gel in which we're gonna practice cropping the image, straightening it, and labeling. And so that would allow us to work with layers, the crop tool, the align tool, and others. So I usually prefer opening or handling images from Bridge, and I assume that you already watched the videos on the very basic of Photoshop. So in the file, browsed in Bridge, opens the Bridge browser, and we can see the different folders, and we are gonna open an image called Oxidized LDL Agarose Gel, and we can see this is a gel stained with Comasi blue, and it's crooked and has some extra layers that I don't want to show. And so the first thing we do is we locate, there are two ways of doing this. One could be by cropping the gel with the crop tool, and I select the size that I want. And then by placing the cursor on the middle in the center of the cropping tool, we can see that it changes to a curve arrow. That means that I can rotate this, and so I can locate the crop bar. I can align it in a manual way, and then just proceed to crop, and it crops and straightens the gel. That's a good way, and you lose whatever is not you cropped out. So the other way, if I go to history back, the other way, and a more precise way of doing it is if I click and hold over the eyedropper, we can see the ruler tool, where I can trace a line and over the origin, for example, in this case, or any portion of the image that you want to be vertical or horizontal. And then I just simply press straightening, and the program will straighten the image and crop it. And so this is perhaps a more precise way of doing it. So if we're happy with that, we can proceed to label this gel. This big letter T here is for adding text to the image, and each text will be added on an extra layer. So I can add text in the horizontal type or vertical type. So in this case, we're just going to go with horizontal. We control here the font, the size, etc. So I'm going to mark the layers. Control. You can see that it adds an extra layer there. I can either write on another layer, or I can duplicate this layer by dragging it to this little paper thing at the bottom, and then double click on the T will allow me to modify the text, LDL, and if I move it, I can move it to and press until I press this check mark here. I can edit the text. I can do the same one more time. Now click. And the last one, I can also do this with a shortcut, which is press Control Alt and then drag, and it will create automatically another layer, and I can later modify it. HDL. Alright, so then let's say that I want to change the text, make it bigger and different color. I can just select all layers and change the color and the size. Yeah. So to select all the layers, I just click on one, then press Shift, click on the others. If you want to select individual layers, you can click on one, then press Ctrl, and then click on the layers you want to select. All right. And lastly, if we want to adjust the image a little bit, we can talk about this later. Photoshop produces destructive editing, so you are actually modifying the information in the pixels, and so it's always a good habit to make a duplicate of the layer that you want. Like this is most likely a photograph of a gel. You can make a duplicate of the layer and work on the duplicate, not on the original data, just in case. And so yeah, if I go to Image, Adjustments, I can adjust the brightness or the contrast, etc. Or you can do auto adjustments like auto contrast and auto tone, auto color. And after we are done with the editing, we want to save this image. If we save it as a Photoshop file, the layers will be kept. If I want to save it as a JPEG for maybe record keeping or to send it to somebody, the layers will be collapsed into one, so you're gonna lose the layers, and usually you will receive a warning that all the layers will be collapsed into one image. You have some options with respect to size and quality that are self-evident. All right, this is it for just basic editing, straightening, cropping, and labeling. See you in the next video.